Howdy everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Faab Five campaign here on the Random Rhapsody Network. I'm Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM, and joining me around the virtual table today are Alyssa, Joe, Jeremy, Koines, and Kyle. Say hi everybody.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi, buddy.
Okay. Now before we begin, I'm excited to announce that Random Rhapsody has now reached affiliate status here on Twitch. With that, you'll notice a few changes to our channel, and you can now show your support for Random Rhapsody by subscribing to our channel and by cheering us on with bits in chat. Viewers can also earn points in chat just for tuning in each week. The more you watch us live, the more points you can earn, and you can use those points to affect the game right as you watch. You can give your favorite character, NPC, or even an enemy advantage or disadvantage, heal them, or even give them an extra turn. Be sure to tune in every Monday at both 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. and have some fun interacting with our players. Okay, that should do it for announcements. So join us as we dive into the world of Loroupa and continue on with the adventures of the Faab Five.
Points, so Baltimore wins. I'll get money for the week, like $56.
Okay,
Oh, nice.
we are back. Sorry guys, you can talk about fantasy football later.
It's D&D for sports nerds.
Yeah, I know. It totally is. So, when we last left off, the Faab Five had traveled to the town of Bradfordshire seeking a remedy to heal the wounded Liam and the cursed Apollyon. When they arrived, however, the team found a village under siege from spectral wraiths who had apparently overrun the monastic temple shortly after Liam had stolen a magical glaive from the crypts underneath. The squad was forced to battle through multiple groups of these wraiths, and as they made their way across the village, towards the local temple of the Five Gods. As the dark of night fully extended over the village, the Faab Five were horrified as the very souls of the slain villagers rose from their corpses to pursue and attack them as they passed. Our heroes battled onward throughout the night, expending valuable spells and precious resources as they raced towards the temple. While the squad did manage to reach the temple gates, Veil's zombie horde paid the ultimate price as they all sacrificed themselves to protect their master. And hey, Anesthetic, thanks for stopping in. She's sending some cheers for us all, cheering us on.
Heyo.
Now, at the temple, Liam was relieved to find a group of townspeople holed up inside them, aided by a squadron of town guards and at least 2 monks of the Blue Heron. The guards were understandably suspicious of their group, their cursed Minotaur party member, and the single deranged goblin skeleton that had managed to survive the poltergeists. Fortunately, the lead cleric welcomed the squad and thanked his god for their additional support. As the survivors from Bradfordshire's populace slowly emerged, both Blood from a Stone and Eloise caught sight of some kinsmen. But before they could investigate further, Apollyon the Golden Boi encountered a fan and hurried to give the lad his autograph. Eloise just managed to grab onto the addle-minded Minotaur and his cloak and dig in her heels, stopping the former gladiator in his tracks before he could follow the child further. Both Blood and Liam joined in the commotion, trying to stop their accursed friend, and as this was happening, I believe that Veil had something entirely different weighing on his mind. Isn't that right, Veil?
That's correct.
Okay. But before we get into all that, a question comes to each of your minds. What memory does your character want to forget the most? And since Blood from the Stone rolled it, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Bastard. Well, I mean, logic would dictate that it would be my brother dying. But then that might erase his memory from me. So I can't go with that. Even though I see him dying in my eyes every night, it's still I get to see him. I think it would probably be the moment my father banished me. Not that he banished me, I understand that, but the look on his face. I think that would be something I'd like to forget.
Indeed. Apollyon, the Golden Boi. What memory would you like to forget?
Probably.
I'd very much like to forget the day I was taken from my family by slavers. Watched them slaughtered and their blood sprayed across our tiny village. I was being carted away in chains, and through my tears, I could see them killing the last warriors in my tribe, and all was silent.
Indeed. Anesthetic has just subscribed at Tier 1. Say thank you, everybody, to Anesthetic. Subscribing is always...
Thank you very much.
Yeah, subscribing is always an amazing way to help support the show and everything we do here. So we definitely appreciate it. Thanks, Anesthetic.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Yeah, Blood from a Stone, you are cracking up horribly, my friend.
Probably gonna die here. Yep. Back.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on. You go ahead and see if you can figure out what's going on with your audio. Liam, you're up next.
I'd very much like to forget that I was responsible for all this death in this village. If I could forget the memory of me taking that, I wouldn't have such a heavy weight on me right now.
No doubt about that. That's the thing about choices. They always provoke some sort of reaction. Necthros, what would you like to forget the most?
Out of all the memories, I want to forget the most the time I didn't double check my math and almost killed half of the party in my portable hole. Not because I almost killed them, but because I believe I'm too intelligent to make mistakes that elementary.
Yeah, that's 100% Veil. I love it. Thank you very much. Eloise, you're last.
I think I'd like to forget my life before I found Vulcan. The way that they treated me, the way that my parents called me corrupted and a monster. Kids shouldn't hear that.
I wholeheartedly agree. Okay. On that sad note,
We're just a bunch of angsty shits. Holy crap.
well, I mean, yeah, this was a really, really dark
the right
question. Yeah, absolutely. Especially based on what's going on right now.
No kidding.
So, what's going on? As I said, Apollyon had moved off to give what he believed to be a fan an autograph. Eloise had stopped him before he got too far, and both Liam and Blood were telling their cursed friend to stop before he made things worse for them all.
Okay.
Now, during this conversation and all this commotion, Veil, you have something else that's pressing on your mind. So what is it you'd like to do?
I kind of just say out loud, not in any demanding way, but in a stern way, who's in charge here?
So, because of all the chaos that's going on right now, and understandably, there is a lot of chaos going on. Apollyon's charging ahead. Eloise is dragging him back. All the soldiers are kind of jumping up and making a lot of clamor and noise of what's going on. So, there doesn't seem to be a lot of people paying attention to your inquiry, Veil. You look around, no doubt, and you're annoyed by this fact that you're being ignored. But then you notice an old dwarven male with a long white beard who seems to be looking at you with a thoughtful look on his face. The guards all seem to be approaching Apollyon and Eloise, but this man seems to be more focused on you, Veil. The dwarf, as he approaches, which is this man you see right over here, he walks up to you a few feet and he says, "Oh, I am in charge of. I am the head priest of this temple here, sir. What can I do for you?"
Head priest, no disrespect, but I don't appreciate, and I'm sure they don't appreciate, the 24 bodies just out there in the open outside. Now, I'm not saying anything against you, or you're, clearly I can tell you are not of able body to properly bury or give these bodies a proper resting place. But if I could lend some assistance, I could take care of them.
So, the priest, who's looking at you, oh, well, I certainly appreciate your reverence for our dearly departed brethren, my son. And the dwarf kind of walks up to you, and you see him like he's raising a hand up to put a hand on your shoulder. He's a little bit shorter than you, probably about a head or so shorter than you, Veil. Quite
Yep.
thick, and like as most dwarves are, thick and stocky but short, bald head, long white beard, and of course he seems to be reaching up towards you to pat you on the shoulder as he's saying this.
Okay. So as his hand goes to touch my shoulder, I just immediately cast Prestidigitation to clean it off and continue to clean it off as I'm being touched.
So as you're prestidigitating, every time he pats a hand on your shoulder, he's oblivious to this. He's what he is saying is, "We do prepare the dead for their final rest, child. But alas, we are unable to inter their remains until dawn rises tomorrow. While the poltergeist are unable to cross the threshold of the temple grounds, the wraiths have been known to find a way. As a precaution, we have anointed the bodies with holy oil, wrapped them in the consecrated wrappings, and bound them with blessed silk rope that we have created ourselves. So you see, we have cared for them as much as we can in the time allowed, and in the morning they shall be buried, of course. These precautions, you understand, have kept the spirits from rising. So worry not, sir." And he pats you again on your shoulder and kind of smiles up at you.
Very well, very well. I just wanted to assist in
Hey there,
any way.
Dis knocked him.
And if you need my assistance tomorrow morning, I'm here to help. But every time, like you said, every time he pats, it's almost like if someone were to put their hand on a counter, and then as soon as they lift it up a wipe would come and wipe underneath it and continue that to clean whatever they touched.
Absolutely. The old priest is really smiling at you and appreciates obviously your concern for the preparations of these bodies.
Ah, yes. Thanks.
Hey there, Dio. We got Dio's Nocturnum in chat right now. Say hi, everybody.
Hey, Dios.
You.
Dios, it's
Yo.
not
Okay. Are you wanting to do anything else, Veil, right this second?
Nope, I'm good for now.
Yeah, sorry. I am horrible with pronunciations, but I will try to get better, I promise. Okay.
Stop the bull.
So, while that is going on, and all these guards seem to be moving up towards you all, Apollyon and group, I'm going to go ahead and pop the map up so everyone can kind of see what's going on here. At least I would if it would come up.
desperately holding on to the cloak of the. Is it the manta ray, Apollyon?
Yeah,
What's
the
the name of your
manta-
cloak?
yeah.
Cloak of the
Cloak
Manta
of the
Ray.
Manta Ray.
You did outroll him.
Yeah, so I'm grabbing it and pulling. Apple, please. We need to focus on getting Liam fixed and everything else, please.
So, Apollyon,
I only want to give the lad an autograph. It's not every day he sees the people's champion walk in the streets of whatever this town is called.
yeah, so for those of you who are just kind of tuning in, Apollyon had attuned himself to a crown called the Circlet of the Deep, which once he became attuned to this thing, he changed into a horrible aberration version of himself. It's slowly been corrupting his mind up until this point, and right now, at the end of last session, he saw a child at the end of the chapel who was peeking his head around, and in his mind, the child seemed to be calling over to him, waving him over, wanting an autograph. So, Apollyon, your fan has disappeared, and the last time you saw him, he had turned and walked back into the dark corridor, about 50 feet ahead of you. Eloise had grabbed you by the cloak, and is currently tugging you back, choking you ever so slightly with the cloak's cord around your neck. Yep, yeah. You try not to say daddy, but it's hard. Ahead of you, you see a couple more humans who have stepped out from around the large statue of an old bearded man that's like occupying the large dais to the left over here. These people seem to be stepping backwards, gesturing towards the corridor as though encouraging you onward. Now, what Eloise and Blood is seeing is, yes, two people did step out from the shadows of their hiding, and they both are looking horrified and seem to be backing up at the sight of this giant monstrosity charging towards them, a dragonborn pulling them back, all the guards kind of rushing towards them. So that's kind of what's going on right in this second. So, Apollyon, what is it you're trying to do?
Oh yeah, they want the Golden Boi. Let me show you some muscles here. Bring the kid out. Bring the kid out. I start like flexing.
So for you, in your mind, you're just flexing and making these amazing bodybuilder poses. You know, the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. Yeah, exactly, Eloise.
That's
exactly.
right. Go ahead and appreciate Apollyon's physique.
Yeah.
I've worked long and hard to achieve all this power.
Now, what everybody else sees is just this horrible mound of flesh that seems to be writhing and bubbling and churning. Like, if anyone's seen anything from H.P. Lovecraft, especially like Lovecraft Country, and you saw those giant things with the mouths and the eyes, and they seem to like squirm, that's kind of what you're seeing right now, just Apollyon shaped.
Ugh.
And it's horrible. It's horrible to see.
Do they have to make Constitution saves?
Not quite yet. Not quite yet, because they have been around you, and they have seen you for a long period. They know who you are, but
The other people.
I'm not gonna lie, everybody. The more you're seeing him, the harder it is to look.
While he's busy doing his posing, can I run to the front of him and start like pushing from the front instead of choking him out?
Well, I will point out that you're currently holding him back with that cape, so you can release the cape.
Okay. No.
You can release the cape.
If he's still pulling on it while posing, I'm gonna hold on.
Well, Apollyon, as I said, you are being restrained, pulled back right now by Eloise. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to go ahead and attempt to reverse that grapple.
Okay. Cloaks and Daggers just subscribed through Prime, so thank you, Cloaks and Daggers. We appreciate it.
Hey!
Nice.
Critical! And thanks for that
Fuck
subscription.
me. God damn.
Ugh.
Ah, shit.
So,
Did you say, are these humans or elves? Did you say real quick?
I do like a little backwards ducking reversal where I just like duck under my own cape and spin around till I'm behind Eloise. And then I'm going to go ahead and initiate the people's elbow on her.
okay, so Eloise, I do need you to make your opposing athletics check. I don't see how you're going to beat his natural 28,
Not.
but I mean, you know, yeah, I don't even see, I mean, you got close, 21. You know, you're starting to wiggle a little bit. He twists around you, grabs you. You start wiggling and sliding a little bit, but suddenly, then just that arm comes around underneath your armpit, and he has you, and he just grasps you. So he's going to do the people's elbow at you. Go ahead and describe the people's elbow, Apollyon.
Oh my god. Alright, so I'm gonna push her up against the wall, and when she bounces back, I'm gonna do like a reverse elbow right into her neck.
Okay, this is just going to be a straight. You're punching her. So
Yeah,
With his elbow.
with his elbow.
We'll do non-lethal damage.
Ow!
Well, would you?
It's not fake anyway.
I mean, yeah. All I'm saying is what I need you to do is make a strength check, which is just a unarmed strike. You are not proficient, so just a strength check.
I am proficient in an unarmed strike. It's my horns.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm not
right.
sure about-
Well, but that's just with your horns. You're just making a punch, basically, or you're hitting with the elbow. So anyway,
Yeah, unless you have Tavern Brawler, I don't think so.
yeah. So
Oh.
he rolled a 15, Eloise. What's your AC?
It's higher than
18.
that. But,
Okay.
I mean,
Alright, miss.
with the fact that he was a gladiator, couldn't you just give him an armed strike?
No.
I mean, he did it.
It's not part of the background.
Yeah, it's not part of the background.
All right, fine.
No, he strikes out with the people's elbow, cracking into you, Eloise. But you've known him for quite a while, and that writhing flesh just makes you want to dodge back naturally. So even as he's holding you and suddenly tries to elbow you, you wiggle back, and it more just kind of glances off your shoulder and does no damage.
And without missing a beat, Apollyon, like right after the hit like goes over, he'll like lean over, whisper in her ear, like, "Fall down now."
You tried to hit me.
That's right.
Yeah, can I react
And he'll
to
ignore her
what
and
he
just go,
just
"Woo!
did there?
That's right. You like those sweet moves, kids?"
Well, so I will say that, yeah, Liam and Blood and Veil, technically, you do have time right now. In that 6 seconds when this happened, what would your reaction be to this?
I can, with a 10 feet head start, push somebody back 10 feet. So I want to use that charger feat right now to attempt to double foot kick him just back away.
Okay, so you are from
Fortunately, roll 20 isn't working for me right now, so any rolls will have to be from you.
Okay, so what do you're just wanting to run up towards Apollyon and
Yeah, do a single unarmed strike.
got it. Give me 1 second here.
Oh yeah, we're wrestling now.
Hell yeah. So Liam very easily 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 jumps on the top of basically a mountain of pews that have been set up as a barricade. So the first thing I'm going to do is roll you an acrobatics check, which is a 17, so you're good. You then make an unarmed strike to try to shove Apollyon off. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Now, would that be... I don't think that's actually an attack. I think that's more like an athletics
Check.
It's an attack roll to do the charger feat. I
Is
mean,
it? Okay, so you're doing the charge.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. I don't know your character sheet. That's your job.
I can't activate it.
I know. A 24.
I had to tell you, I know it's on there. Yeah, that'll hit him.
Better.
I assume that hits, right, Apollyon?
That does hit.
Okay.
Yeah, I knock him back 10 feet.
So
you gonna-
with a 6, you just get slugged as super hard across the face by Liam, who shoves you 10 feet back. As you go flying, Apollyon, you strike into Blood, who is coming up from behind you, and you just slam your back into him.
I'd probably go for the chest, not the face, but
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
I mean,
Whoa,
this
whoa.
thing is a blob.
This
It's a
isn't what we
blob,
rehearsed.
so I could easily hit his face and not know it.
Yeah, I understand he went off script, buddy. But here, he's gonna take out a bottle of whiskey. He's gonna give it to Apollyon. He goes, "Why don't you take this, go over in the corner and drink for a little while? That little kid, he's going to bed now. I just talked to him. He's going to sleep, so you can talk to him tomorrow. But you go get your drink on, and I'll send Liam over in a minute. You guys can work out your routine together."
What? Well, I just want to give a good
He's-
show to these fans all the way out here.
We'll
in the
do this
middle of
later.
nowhere. We've
It's
just
late,
been like
buddy.
monsters in
Hey,
the
hey.
street.
I know
No,
it's late. We're having a rough time. Why don't you go get a drink? We'll work on that skit. We'll do it tomorrow. I promise.
All right. I definitely want to do my finishing move on this one though. It's like an incomplete bout if you don't do the finishing
Well,
move.
Who are we doing the finishing move on?
Well, whoever, but the Golden Boy it has to win.
Alright, go ahead. We'll do get help. We've done this before. Come on. Do it on me. He's gonna take the bullet, so he's telling you to do your move.
All right, and I'll showboat a little bit. I'll like walk around in a circle. All right, it has come the time. Apollyon will now do the Tombstone Pile Driver.
I'd almost like to think that they've done this before as a gag before they met the group, so Blood probably knows the setup.
So, as this is happening, and Apollyon, before you roll anything, describe for me what it is you're trying to do.
You ever seen a Tombstone Pile Driver?
No.
The Undertaker.
Yeah, you pick up the other person, you turn them upside down, and then you fall down onto your knees, which is supposed to hit their head on the ground.
Okay. I would like those who are interacting in this scene, you know who I'm talking about. Roll for initiative, please.
Don't forget to click your character.
God damn it, he actually fucking damn! Initiative failed me.
I have advantage on initiative.
Yeah, I know, but I've got +9. And it failed me.
Okay. So, Apollyon, you grab up blood from a stone. Make your attack.
When he's going up into the air, he's going to call out in Orcish because he knows at least Veil might understand. It's a gag. Let it go. Because he guarantees Apollyon doesn't speak that.
I don't
Veil
see that.
replies in Orcish. I was going to let it go either way. I'm here for the show.
Well, he's letting you tell everybody else, is what he's trying to say.
So should I do an athletics check or an attack roll?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're gonna make an athletics check to pick him up, and then an attack roll to slam him down.
Yeah, that'll pick
Not
me up.
an advantage, but 26.
Yeah, 26 definitely is enough to lift up this tabaxi high overhead. Make your attack roll and describe how this looks.
All right, I pick him up I'll lift him up in the air. I make like a slow circle around, kind of showing him off to the crowd, and then I reverse him down, put his legs above my head, give the thumbs up, and then change it to a thumbs down and drop. 23.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hit. So you slam him down into the ground. So technically you don't have like the unarmed strike thing. So it's going to be, but you are still going to be taking blood.
I know.
You're still going to be taking 1 plus his strength.
That's 11.
That's a 1d6. Is it going to be 1d6 or is it going to be just 1 plus?
It would just be technically. Well, you have proficiency with your horns. I'm going to allow it. So
yeah,
11.
I did the same thing as what my horns would be.
Yeah.
Oh no, my horns are actually a D8. They're more than that, but I think D6 is fair.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. In this instance, this is fine. So he slams you down into the ground. You take 11 points of damage. The wind is knocked out of you, and you are lying prone. Are you going to do anything other than moan on your turn?
He's gonna try and do a nice performance to make Apollyon feel good about himself.
So describe your performance for me, please.
He's gonna have the eyes roll big when he goes up. Then he's just like, oh no, and he's pleading with him. And then when he goes down, he just kind of like twitches a little bit, like he might sit up, maybe roll over, and just be like, tap himself out on the ground or something like that. Make Apollyon think he's won.
Make a performance check.
God, mine was terrible.
His was.
Oh, but everybody believes blood.
Eloise.
Kitty cat crits.
Eloise, on your turn, you just saw Apollyon look like he just tried to fucking kill Blood from a Stone, and Blood from a Stone from an amazing performance. You're pretty sure he's dying right now. What are you doing?
Oh shit. It went the wrong way.
No! And I'm gonna cast a hold person on.
I know what he wanted
Apollyon.
to happen in the beginning.
Okay, so Apollyon, Eloise is casting Hold Person on you right now. I need you to make... What is this? Is it a con save, Eloise? I don't remember.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save, thank you. Wisdom save, please, Apollyon.
Alright.
In all fairness, does that stupid crown give you advantage? Oh my god, he critted.
Oh, does he get Is it advantage or disadvantage? Oh no.
I just accidentally clicked twice, but it was a 20.
I was wondering if that crown would give him advantage against magic.
I need to look, because I honestly
No,
don't
it doesn't.
remember.
I wish it did. That'd be sweet.
Well, it doesn't matter, he critted.
No, the crown just gives me a swim speed, lets me breathe underwater, and lets me cast some spells for different amounts of charges.
What is with all these
Now-
nat 20s?
Now Blood will moan in Elvish.
So yeah,
It's a gag. Let it go.
Nope, don't know that one either.
Veil does. Fucking say something.
Yeah, and Vale, with that, he kind of looks a little upset. He was hoping that it was real.
well,
Not because he liked to see you in pain, but because he might have added to his army.
You wouldn't have added blood.
Oh, wow. Vulcan, who's just saw his daughter cast Hold Person on Apollyon.
Uh-oh.
I'm giving him a turn because I can. What is he going to do?
He knows Hold Person too.
He does not. Well,
I know
he has
Hold Person.
access to it. He did not
I've
prepare
never
it.
prepared.
So what he is doing is he's casting the spell he did prepare, and that's Polymorph.
Oh god damn it.
So I need you to make another Wisdom saving throw, Apollyon.
This is higher. He's got a higher DC.
Yeah, that's a failure. Apollyon, at 1 minute you were standing there, arms up, holding your hands held high, hearing all of these sounds of voices cheering you. Apollyon, 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 Golden Boi, Golden Boi, Golden Boi. It's almost as if you're in the arena. You're circling, your hands are overhead, and you can see now that there you are in the Colosseum, having just defeated that pitiful, weak opponent that is the Tabaxi at your feet. And as you're twisting around, holding your hands in victory, suddenly the entire world begins to grow. Bigger, 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 and you're at the floor. And suddenly, in front of you, Blood from a Stone is ginormous. 10 times the size that he was a few seconds ago. And everyone else is as well. Because you, my friend, have been turned into a sloth.
A sloth? Nice.
A sloth.
Yes.
Sloths are not actually that small.
Very
It's slow though.
slowly
Hey, buddy.
It's a small sloth.
move forward and stand on his body.
And Blood's just gonna stand up and knock you off.
My arms in triumph.
I'm gonna go over and scoop him up and hold him so that he's hanging upside down.
How many hit points do a sloth have?
Maybe. I don't know. Hold on.
So I'm not.
5.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dagger him then.
Don't you dare!
Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe. I'm gonna say 7 hit points. It has 7 hit points because why not?
Oh, I could potentially I could stab him and potentially not bring him back.
Nope. I'm walking over to the cleric.
So Eloise is holding this sloth now in her arms, kind of like a teddy bear, or the way my wife currently holds our poodle puppy Haku. Because that's exactly what she does. It's like holding a kid. It's ridiculous. But this sloth has its arms wrapped around you now, Eloise, and seems really, really confused.
Don't worry, Apple. I'm gonna fix it. And I'm gonna go over to the cleric man.
And
What?
the cleric from this point has watched this whole thing, and I'm very confused by what's going on right now.
I know, but there was this cult, and we were in this place underwater, and Apollyon found all these things, and it had a crown, and he put it on, and then all of a sudden he changed and he looked like this because he's really a minotaur. And anyways, well, the aqua minotaur, because it's funny. Anyways, but now he's seeing things that aren't happening, and we need to fix him, please.
And
I think the tiara has a curse.
so, yeah, that was a lot of words all at once. And have you ever like seen somebody go into sensory overload and their eyes just start going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth? This is a really old dwarf. And you're just kind of towering over him, and you're now looking, and that silver-scaled dragonborn that you had seen is standing over next to him at this point, and he's kind of putting his hand on her shoulder and holding on to her. And
Doc, I'll save it for you. He's cursed. Can you fix it?
That!
He's indeed, he
Niase.
seems to be turned into a no, you mean something
No.
else.
He's cursed. The creepy fucking tentacle monster. That thing. That's the curse. That crown he was wearing. Blood's just kind of sitting up, blood trickling down his head because Apollyon forgot how to do the fucking setup wrong. His knees are supposed to hit and not his head. They trained on this. But no, Apollyon forgets because he gets excited. So Blood's just shouting, yeah, his crown cursed him. Could you get rid of it?
It's not my fault.
You're a sloth.
Yeah, you can't talk at all. You're a sloth.
Yeah.
You hear,
This
you see the sloth. Hold on.
This ain't Zootopia.
You see the sloth. His mouth is moving, and you hear this. I don't know what a sloth sounds like, but that's how I.
Sounds all right.
Yeah, that's how I think it is. So yeah, absolutely.
Won't tell JJ you get it.
So, the old dwarf. Oh my gosh. He's been. Oh yes. That sounds horrible. I suppose I see why you sought out the temple, and yes, in normal times,
Oh, great.
this would not be a difficult thing. But let's see here, and he's thinking to himself. You can. I'm not sure what we can do to help you. I'm doing the voice wrong. We have been under siege for many weeks, and our resources are dwindling. I'm afraid I have no way to heal a curse myself.
Do you have something that can crush up a diamond? Because we got the diamond.
Well, actually, and you kind of you hear a voice coming from behind you. I believe I can help you. You see a woman.
While Liam's not looking, Blood's gonna slide a hand of drink of the whiskey because he doesn't want Liam knowing.
You're slipping
Matt,
on
roll
whiskey.
me a
What?
perception.
Yeah, he's drinking. He's doing a quick sip of whiskey while Liam's not looking.
Okay.
Because he doesn't want Liam know he took a drink recently. So that's 27 on the sleight of hand.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
that's
can't beat
a
that. Okay, never mind.
perception. Yeah, I'll roll it just for the fun of it.
And that 20 wouldn't beat it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a 14. It didn't. That's fine. So yeah, Liam did not see a thing. The woman who did speak up, she raises her hand, and it's a human woman, middling years, black hair, kind of cut in really short pixie cut bangs, like Eloise. You know what I mean? Pixie cut bangs. Anyway, yeah, dark haired woman, human, walks up and says, I'm a jeweler, and I did bring some of my equipment. You said you need to crush a diamond?
Apparently, that's the material components of the spell we need.
Well,
We've got
the
a diamond.
spell to help Liam, I don't think that spell's gonna help
They could both
Apollyon.
use with that spell, couldn't they?
Vulcan speaks up and he says, hold on one second. Oh yeah, I can definitely do them both with that spell, but I need that diamond dust.
If you know where there's...
Come on, Matt. We need you to be like 6 different people in 5 seconds. Come on.
If he has...
You know what?
If she,
I'm getting better. You have to admit, I'm switching between the voices a little bit quicker, so...
I know. It's just fun.
But yeah, anyway, the woman does say, yeah, I do have my jeweler's, some of my equipment here. It will take some time, but I could powder a diamond for you if that's what you need.
that'll do. If not, tell me where to go and I'll go steal one. I mean, procure one.
Well,
The word is borrow, blood, borrow.
I said procure. Isn't that good enough?
well,
Hey, I just got dropped on my head.
If you are able to, I do need my pestle and mortar from my mother's shop. She had an apothecary a few blocks away from here, and if I had that, I could do it much quicker.
Hang on.
I think we hid in there. Eloise, I think you found a book. Did you find anything else?
Hang on.
You've got a potion. You've got a kit like that, don't you?
I've got a herbalism kit and a healing kit. I'm hoping one of them has a mortar and pestle.
I think
So
the
yes,
herbalism
while
kit does.
while yes, technically they do have a mortar and pestle.
It wouldn't be strong enough to crush a diamond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This does require a special tool. Now, she is saying that she could start working on one now. She does have some tools with her. It will take her a decent amount of time. Like, I'm not going to make you, like, press her or anything like that. So just to save time, it'll probably take her a good day and a half to process it. If she got the right tools, the right pestle from her mother's shop, she could do it in half that time.
I don't think Athera and I have enough polymorphs to be able to hold Apollyon that long.
He'll be fine now. He told me to gag before he dropped me. He wanted to do his finisher. We've done it before.
How exactly is it that you can understand him in that form? I haven't understood him for 2 days now.
Well, you gotta think. I mean, I have been with him a lot longer than you get. I just know his mannerism. I mean, he was doing the little thing. He taps his shoulder when he wants to do the finisher. It's a whole thing. We've played it out for money before we met y'all.
Anesthetic, I do see you asking about inspiration.
You know, we'd set up ball
He has
fights.
some right now.
Occasionally, I'd win,
But
so
when
we would
he
take the
uses
money.
it, I will give.
Yeah, we fucking lied. We stole from people. What do you want from me? I just got dropped on my head. I'm being honest.
I've never lost a bar fight. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, it got us money because anybody here, you think I could beat him up? Of course not, but I did. Now, it was
Wait,
fake, yes, but still.
So the plan is we're going back out there with all the undead things to go and find a mortar and pestle right now?
Not right now. I wouldn't say right now, as Veil kind of chimes in. And he looks around the room and sees all these guards who I'm assuming are just astonished with, they've been holed up in here and haven't really had much action besides the poltergeist and the occasional wraith. And all of a sudden this group just comes in and starts wrestling each other, and spells are being thrown left and right, and a sloth comes into the mix.
So, go ahead.
Welcome to the Faab Five.
Go ahead, Veil, and make an insight check real quick.
Okay. That is a 17.
So, while yes, you are essentially correct, these are a group of people who've been held up here for quite a while, and now this giant flashy group comes in and makes probably the biggest disruption they had, other than the weeks and weeks of wraith attacks and poltergeist attacks and all that other stuff. So, while yes, they do seem really, really shocked and confused and basically on the edge of, should we kill these guys or not? They definitely seem more like the hardened veteran types of people who've survived a horrible thing for a very long period of time. And
Does
their patience seems very thin right now, Veil.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
So, all right. So, with that, Veil just saunters over to this pile over here, and kind of casually says, "Thank you. We'll be here all night, and stay tuned for Act 2." And with that, he's going to start an hour rest.
And Veil just plops down and begins resting every single human and a few others. There's a tabaxi, a dragonborn, and a half-elf, and your group as well, Veil. Every single eye just stops and looks directly at you. Like, what?
Where's the skeleton?
Yeah, where is that skeleton, by the way?
He's
right
behind
next to Liam.
He's right next to Liam and this guard who's like looking between the dark elf who just said all this, wait for Act 2, like, just nonchalantly. And then there's the goblin next to him, the goblin skeleton, and you can tell from that 17, he doesn't know what to think. This is probably, like, in a world where hell has risen, suddenly just random people showed up and started fucking around, and it's confusing. Like, they just don't know what to think at this point. Even the two monks, and there are the two monks that I mentioned earlier. The two of them are looking like, what the hell is going on? And River and Anesthetic are both kind of giving you... I can't tell what these emojis are. They're little girls with wrenches, so... But they are cheering you
All
on.
right. So, as the dust settles and the awkward calm starts to take over, I am going to go back into what I was trying to say when I started it here. So as I was saying, we came across a man named Jasin Dakian on the river. To our way in this direction, he was headed opposite on his way to Bradfordshire. I didn't get the names of the ones with him. How many did you send with him?
The Dragonborn who you had seen, silver scaled Dragonborn.
That Eloise is oddly eyeing right now.
Yeah, who actually, yes, you are Eloise. Because you are standing right next to her and the dwarf. And I will say here, real quick, as you're staring at her, this other Dragonborn is obviously female to your eyes. She has bright silver scales. That is so... Why is that so hard? I don't even know. Bright silver scales and sky blue eyes. One of which has a scar over it. She's wearing the light cloth tunic and trousers of the blue-gray material and that you've been seeing from these people, and she wears a white belt wrapped around her waist. She has a dark-hued longbow slung across her back, and as your eyes kind of focus upon her tail, because that thing right there, that thing is really holding your attention. That tail seems to be wrapped, at least the end of it, you notice, is wrapped around the spear and holding it upright and level. While the woman seems to ignore it and is more focusing on holding on to the old man and helping him move. So anyway, Liam, what is it you were wanting to say?
Yeah, I was asking how many Jessen had taken with him.
So the Dragonborn is the one who speaks up, as I said. She says, the master took 3, or 2, I'm sorry. The master took 2 with him.
Oh. That's how many were on that ship, Liam.
You say you met with the master, and as she says this, she turns, and that tail behind her just kind of moves along gracefully with her. That holding that spear, like it's almost like an extra hand, Eloise, or like that one dude from My Hero Academia, the martial artist dude. I can't remember. Anyway,
met is a strong word. His ship pulled up alongside us as we were traveling along. Had a brief conversation, and they continued on.
We know that he was heading towards the Erudite Conclave in Port Valena looking for help. We had hoped when we saw you that you were help, but seems like more you were caught among the same whores that we have.
Oh no, we ran into our horrors before we got here, but we're willing to help.
Unfortunately, we were unaware of the status of the town had become this grave.
He mentioned wraith attacks, but he didn't say it was this extensive.
He did not mention the scale.
Yeah.
The master did not know. The true horror only happened after the master had left. When the master left, the wraiths had not ventured past the grounds of the monastery. During that time, we, the Order of the Blue Heron, worked in tandem with the city watch to barricade the monastery and send in groups to retake our home. While some of us managed to get inside, none ever returned. Indeed, Dio, the boulder is conflicted in this moment, or at least Liam.
I take it
is.
there's nothing you've got somewhere hidden away that's been lost, or you have no idea how to stop this, do you?
Unfortunately, we only recently learned what happened. I myself and Jortha over there, we were in the monastery the night the wraiths attacked. About a month and a half ago, a fire started in a bunk above Jortha, and the smoke caused everyone to wake up around her. The students tried putting out the fire, and as they did, pots hidden inside the fire broke, dousing the water and sending smoke and ash to fill our room and wake us all. But it was about that time that the wraiths attacked. Fortunately, most of the students had already been awoken during the fire, so only the first couple of students were slaughtered immediately. We fought valiantly against the wraiths, and it wasn't long before our masters joined in the defense. But for every wraith we managed to defeat, 3 more seemed to take its place. By the end of the afternoon, we were forced to retreat and to take up position just outside our monastery. Now, we did not venture unto those grounds for nearly a week. The wraiths themselves did not venture out of the monastery during that week. We, as I said, worked in tandem with the city to barricade and send in scouts. One group even managed to make its way down to the crypts, but almost nobody ever returned. And those that did spoke of the horrors that the wraiths had unleashed as they slaughtered everyone.
So there was one that came back from the crypts.
Indeed. And we know now that a holy relic has been stolen from our monastery. A glaive made of brass, ancient. A weapon forged, we believe, from the time of returning. But this weapon is gone. And it is that, we believe, that made the wraiths attack.
Wow.
Do you have any idea who took it?
Make another deception check.
You're gonna have to roll for me. Roll 20's not pulling up.
You got it.
Oh, this is gonna be very good or very bad.
Oh, sorry, that was... I rolled for her, not for him, so sorry about that.
I know. My heart is like... It just flatlined.
Well, she rolled a 19 for perception. Now let's see Liam.
Wouldn't it be insight against?
Actually, yeah, it would
Deception?
be insight. Ugh.
Watch, it's probably even higher than a +3. I'm sorry. I don't want to look.
I can't look. Somebody tell me what's happening.
You just rolled a 13 deception.
I gotta figure out what her actual insight was. Yeah, so her insight was 3 higher than her perception.
So I believe anesthetic gave Liam inspiration. I don't know if that
Earlier.
works like that.
Yep.
Well,
That's true.
anesthetic did. However, Liam currently has inspiration
Oh.
because
I
the
actually
Of the
wouldn't
meme.
use it right here because, for obvious reasons, I would not be as successfully deceitful as I would in normal circumstances. So I think a fail here actually makes sense and works with what I was thinking
Wait.
anyway.
Which one is this Nahi or this Nais woman? Is that this one?
That's
The
the Dragonborn. No,
Dragonborn.
that's the Dragonborn
Oh.
standing next to Eloise. And
Blood's just
hold on.
when he. Well, I was to say Blood was going to do something, but
Okay. What were you gonna do? What?
Blood's just going to step in. Right now, I don't think it's a problem who started all this, who took what. Look at that thing. It's not going to be a sloth for very long, and we are getting harder and harder to control him. We need to go get this and get this done now. We can talk about this other shit later.
And I'm gonna look around at our
Because
party and
he's the
everyone
only
else.
one he's the only one that really knows everything that Liam said to everybody. I don't think he's told everybody everything.
Well, hold on a second, Eloise. Blood, and I'm giving you the moment to interject after Liam, and so you're making a a persuasion check, please.
That's 21.
The Dragonborn, her eyes meet yours, Liam, after you ask that question. And in that moment, you just have that, you see it in her eyes. The pupils dilate just slightly. There's that look of recognition, or possible recognition. And she tilts her head to the side. But then, Blood steps in. He makes his plea. And she says, right now, your friend is your problem. And the safety of my people are mine.
No.
While we are sympathetic to your plight, we have our own to deal with. Namely those in our care that we protect and try to keep safe from this menace that has hit the town. Now we welcome any help any of you have, but other than this individual processing a gem for you, and she does step up and she's kind of, I will work on it in the meantime, if that's what you need me to do.
I believe I can be of service. I think I can give you the person responsible for all of this. And I take off my hat, and I drop down to my knees. And I say, as I came here under the guise of the name Chuck Lee, I think you remember me from the look that you gave me. When I came here, I came under a different master. His name has not been known to almost any, and that's why he is so powerful as he is right now. He goes by the name Grood. Goliath, once a barbarian, turned into a monk, trained by... You gotta give me the name... Ohm. Trained by Ohm himself. And he sent me on the mission here to retrieve that glaive. And at the time, he didn't tell me what it would do. He didn't tell me the purpose. And quite honestly, I didn't care. I just needed to bide my time to get closer to him so I could get revenge on him. But after what I've seen in this town, I'd like to kill him myself, but my life is yours if you wish to take it.
So, in this moment, you see, after you taking off this hat and you do this speech, you see the Dragonborn. Her eyes are narrowing. You realize, while she had her suspicions who you were, your admission changed everything. The elf as well. And under no surprise, everybody sees a moment basically right out of Ip Man. two individuals with massive amount of movement. Moving as one. Both of them grabbing onto Liam. Liam, are you going to resist? Is my question.
No.
You are slammed against the wall as the Dragonborn leaps up onto the bleachers, runs over, launches herself onto you, grabbing you. You are shoved against the wall. The half-elf comes running up right behind, grabbing onto you in that same instant. Two forces slamming you against the wall right in this second. You are not resisting. You take a total of 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you're slammed against the wall, your head hitting back, and you cough out a little bit of blood from your injury as the two of them scream out. You! And that's where we're going to end things for a moment, because we're going to go on break.
Sloth.
You got
So
about
we were
50 minutes of slothhood left.
Yep, you got about 50 minutes of slothhood yet left. Sorry, but that was the only thing I thought of Vulcan would do. However, we are going to be back in about 10 minutes, so stay tuned, everybody, to see the exciting conclusion of tonight's episode. We'll see you in a bit. Howdy, everybody. We are back. And when we last left off, a lot of stuff's going on. Apollyon got turned into a sloth. And Liam actually revealed to everybody that he was the source of this town's problem. That he had stolen a relic from the Order of the Blue Heron and unleashed the wraiths upon the village. And so, we join now as Apollyon. 2 hands from the Dragonborn, 2 hands from the half-elf, and both of them has slammed you into a wall, looking at you. Eyes filled. Actually, go ahead and make an insight check.
You just
Who,
said
me?
Apollyon, but I'm pretty sure you meant Liam.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Liam. You were slammed
Yeah,
against
could
the
you
wall.
roll that for me, please?
Yes, I absolutely will.
You want to give one of us access, we can roll it so you don't have to roll so many.
Yeah, I can do that. Everyone should have access now.
And I'll pull them up.
But anyway. The heck?
I got it. I can run him.
Oh, the insight was a 23, Liam. So,
Oh, that's good.
you can see that the people who are staring at you, their eyes aren't filled with anger or rage, but confusion. The half-elf says to you, Chuck. Was it Chuck? Sorry, I'm blanking right now.
Yeah,
Yes,
Chuck
yeah.
Lee.
Chuck! Is that really you? And go ahead.
Yeah, I'll meet her eye to eye. And just... I'm sorry, darling.
It is you. You stole the relic from underneath the crypt. You unleashed all of the wraiths. It was you. The half elf is very, very obviously she's flustered in this moment, and Her fist is balled up. She's holding it high, like almost as though she's trying to fight with herself.
I was under the tutelage of a different master. I had orders long before I came here. I've done things in the past, but nothing compares to this. I always had intention of taking him down, but I didn't realize I was helping him do something like this. You have to understand. This is not who I want to be. You have to give me a chance to redeem myself.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check, which actually I suppose somebody else has to do. So somebody give me a persuasion check for Leo.
Thank you, Blood.
You gotta let me know if you want to do your advantage on this after. See how well it goes. Oh shit! That's crit.
He meant it.
Yeah.
So, for a total of 25, the Dragonborn, Nyasi, you knew her. Not too well. She was one of the senior monks and an instructor. Jortha, you knew very well. You shared a bunk.
Yeah.
The Dragonborn, she hisses. We wondered what happened to you. The fire that started. Was this all planned? Did you intend on these things to overtake our monastery? Did you intend for us to awaken? What was your purpose here? And she punches, and right past your face. You feel a little bit of blood go down the trickling of your cheek as those scales go across your face. And she punches the wall next to you.
You have to understand, I did not know that this would unleash anything. He said he wanted the weapons. I knew he had intention of taking down every monastery. I don't know why he hates them all. But he wants to take down all order. He sent me here. I don't know how he knew that weapon. He had me take that. And a longbow. A very intricately designed longbow. And he said, train with those weapons. Get well armed with them. And I learned them very well. It's a beautiful weapon, but I had no idea I was holding anything back. How could I?
Did you not listen to the tales? The Dragonborn is speaking up. The stories of our monastery, of our order, of the reason of our existence. We all knew the stories, and like she's spitting at this point, and you're feeling that frost that you've seen come from Eloise before, that's coming off of her breath and beginning to freeze the sweat that's no doubt coating your face and beard. And she's just screaming at you. Do you not know who was in that tomb? And she slams you against the back of the wall again.
I don't want him.
Blood, what did you want to do?
Eloise says she hands the Apollyon sloth to him. I was like, I don't want him.
Oh, so she just pushed the sloth into your grip, like very roughly, and you're just like, I didn't want this. Eloise, what are you doing?
I'm going to address Jortha now, because I know Niese doesn't know me as well. And I'm going to look her in the eye. I'm all like, you know very well I was only here for 2 weeks. I don't remember your lineage. I had a mission. I wasn't here to learn a new mission. I was here to follow a mission. I had no idea it was going to take down an entire town. I'd love to hear your tales now.
She just screams and she punches you as hard as she can in the
Come on.
But make a
All right.
persuasion check. Somebody for him.
Blood, do it.
So for another good one.
That was a critical hit!
Oh.
26 to that strike.
Oh, and I got a 19 this time for the persuasion.
So 10 points of bludgeoning damage as just this massive punch hits you square in the gut, right in the ribs. You cough
Should be down
up
to
blood.
7 points now, yeah.
Yes. 6, actually.
No, it was
I had 22.
22 minus
you did
5. minus
takes me
10,
down to
so yeah.
17. Minus 10 is 7.
I'm track. I changed this.
Oh,
I turned
it was
to
at
the
16.
5 off, yeah.
Okay, no worries. No worries.
So
I can't get into roll 20, but I'm still brilliant, alright?
so with that hit that clearly caused some damage to Liam, the goblin skeleton has had enough, and he goes to like grapple, but he's so small compared to this dragonborn that I feel like he's just squeezing the leg of this dragonborn, and he's going.
If I could, as he's running
grapple.
up, I'd look up at him with my blooded coming out of my mouth, and I'll just shake my head, like telling him don't.
Okay, so what happened is the skeleton. So let me ask you something real quick, Veil, before we get to that. You said hit grappled the dragonborn. Now it was the half elf that punched Liam. I just want to be clear.
I'm sorry. Then it was the half elf that
That's
he
what I
grappled.
thought. Okay,
And
that's
he was standing next to him. So Liam, I don't know if you could have seen him running at the moment. He was standing there the whole time, and that was kind of the last straw for him. And he actually rolled a crit with the grapple.
yes, which definitely beat her 8.
No.
So, what happened is she punches you in the gut. In that moment, this little goblin skeleton, who seems to be attracted to you for some reason, comes running up and just pounces on the half-elf, grabbing onto her, pushing her down onto the ground, and is like sitting on top of her. The skeletal hands on her shoulder, and it's just looking up at you with that broken jaw and cracked teeth that you got from it drinking with you, and it just makes this big skeletal grin from those broken teeth and jaw, and it's really fucking weird.
When that happens, I'm gonna try and like squeeze in between Liam and her, kind of get in front, and just be like, please, can we please stop? More violence is not. I understand the bad things happen, and he's sorry, but please, more violence is not gonna help anything. And I'm gonna like back myself right up into Liam, and I'm casting Cure Wounds through my back.
Now, I feel like it has to. Well, I mean, it is a touch. Well, I don't give a fuck. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. You're doing this. You're pushing yourself back past the half elf, who's being held down by the skeleton, into Liam, pushing your back against Liam. Go ahead and roll your spell.
Blood and Apollo sloth. They're gonna look up and Veil just be like, dude, call off the zombie or call off the skeleton. I don't want to have to put it down.
Veil's sleeping.
14.
Or resting, I
14
should say.
healing for Liam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Veil is still in his trance. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. You did heal for 14 hit point. 14 Liam.
Oh, he's almost at max.
21.
Yeah, I got you. I'm tracking it.
So as that happens, you do this. I'm going to allow you, Eloise, make another persuasion check as your bonus action.
Hey.
Because you
I'm
were
so charismatic.
Yeah, you were calling out, and you're trying.
Wow.
Yeah, how many? That's like 3 crits on persuasion
So
tonight or some
many.
shit like
We
that.
have had rolled so many 20s tonight, guys. Like
Seriously.
this is insane.
This has been a
I
ridiculous episode.
can't believe
of
I can't
20s.
see any of these. Oh my god.
I was
We're
gonna
have to
give you
trust
my.
us on this.
I was gonna give you my inspiration if you rolled poorly.
You
but
used
don't
your
need it.
inspiration. You don't have
I
it.
haven't used mine.
Yeah, you did. You gave it to somebody. You gave it
No,
to
I
Eloise
didn't.
one day.
She gave me
No.
one last session, and I have not used
Oh,
it.
He hasn't used
Oh,
it
that's
yet.
right. That's right. I forgot. I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's fine.
aesthetic and I already talked about that. Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. And actually, Liam has inspiration as well.
I think I trusted in the right Dragonborn. Jesus Christ. So she's rolling a nat 20 to save
Yeah.
my life.
I'm going back and I'm gonna count all these nat 20s because this is insane.
So you've been saying this. You pumped this healing surge into Liam, and the elf is on the floor, being held by the skeleton. The dragonborn still holding Liam.
Mhm.
She looks back towards you, looks up at him, looks back towards you, looks up at him, just says, "Ugh!" And she throws him down onto the ground and begins walking away. And she turns in the moment. Get that thing off you! And the monk that's currently being grappled hits the skeleton. Rolls a 15,
It hits it.
which is a hit.
We gotta put armor on these things.
5 points of damage. And tries to push it off.
I'd have to look up grapple again, but you could hit while you're being grappled.
Yeah, you can hit when you're being grappled, or you can try to break free from the grapple. She just punched the thing.
Yep. He took the damage.
Grood comes running over.
Tell it.
Rude.
Not Grood.
Or not Grood, sorry.
Vulcan.
Sorry,
I was gonna
Vulcan.
say, where'd he come from?
Grood just steps in from the shadows and says, "Fuck you all."
I knew you were gonna name drop, bitch.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yep. Now, Vulcan, who walks over, grabs onto the skeleton, begins pulling it off. I'm going to make him do an athletics check.
I don't want the skeleton to grapple her.
Well,
That's a 19.
If you give him the command, he would get off. Versus my athletics or the skeleton.
I'll
The
throw it
skeletons,
on my
yeah.
turn, but we'll wait till my turn.
I'll go ahead and roll it, Vale.
Oh,
Or you
sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
Nine, yeah.
it was a 9.
Yeah, definitely pulls the skeleton off, kind of pushes it behind him, and kind of puts his hand out to the half elf and says, "I think we have all gotten off on the wrong foot. Now, Liam, or Chuck, or Bruce, or whatever the fuck you're currently calling yourself, I really don't care, boy. You stand over in that corner right over there, and you shut the fuck up before the rest of us have to deal with your shit. Get, boy, get."
Did he just corner you? Holy shit!
And that's
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna like limp over to the corner and hang my head. Sure.
like the scene that I'm saying here.
The
Vulcan,
hippie Goliath, Disney
The-
dad Goliath.
yes,
That
the
didn't
Disney
just
dad
happen.
Goliath, who is currently holding Jack's skeleton by his goddamn neck
Oh my
behind
god, you did
him,
not fucking name
just-
it that.
just turned and said, "Get the fuck over there and shut up," because
He's-
he's had enough of all your bullshit. That's basically what happened.
I'm sorry I had a heart-wrenching moment, you freaking Goliath. Ah! I say it out of character.
Yeah, as you say out of character. But you do go moving off in the direction that he's pointing, and the Vulcan is he pushes the zombie, or the skeleton, back behind him, and he says, "Now listen, y'all. I have had just about enough of all of this. We are here to help. We are here to help them. We are here to help you. But we don't need none of these more shenanigans. Now, as it sounds, that boy over there did something really fucking stupid. And he gonna atone for that, I guarantee it. But right now, we have a bigger enemy to deal with, and a lot more things to worry about than each other. Eloise, do you agree?"
You've jumped into Southern Preacher now. That's great.
Yeah, a little bit. So Liam, as he's saying this, you're seeing something that you haven't seen in a very long time. But that silhouette, that commanding presence, that I'm done with this bullshit attitude, God, that's familiar to you. And that itches in the back of your head as you walk away.
Great, thank you.
That'll help up the half-elf. I guess it's Jokana or Jortha.
Yeah.
Jortha.
Listen, I've been traveling with him for a couple of months now. I haven't ever seen him like that, so I can tell you right now, he's, if for what it's worth, he's being truthful in the fact that he did not intend for this to happen to you people.
The half-elf does allow you to help her up, and she stands up. She's probably maybe a little bit taller than you, but not a lot, and she looks back at you and at the very tall Vulcan standing next to her, and Eloise to the other side. I don't know what to believe at this point. We were not sure if that man was alive or dead.
Yeah, he did tell me how he faked his death.
Faked his death, and she laughs a very bitter laugh.
Yeah, yes. The story that was told about the buckets, they put the fire out, at least around that was his intention. He wasn't wanting anyone to get hurt. Let alone, apparently, you. Most of all, you, it seems.
She kind of just shakes her head a little bit and pushes the hair back from behind her ear, which, I mean, you do recognize her as a half-elf. Her ears are long-ish, but not nearly as long as the elves. And you've lived with half-elves before.
He hates fucking elves.
Yeah.
He won't hate this one, though.
Well, as I said, she is a half-elf.
And racism comes back!
Yeah.
This is a different kind of hate. Not hate for what they are. It's hate for what they did to his people. Listen, I'm very good at finding things and liberating things from people, so I can possibly get these items back. I don't know, but I don't think that's going to solve the problem right now. And I know you guys might want to kill him, and I'm sure he would be willing to let you. But I think you're going to need him to help at least get some order here. Use us. We are 5, and then he'll look at Vulcan. Well, I guess 6 people who are not a part of your town were expendable as far as you could probably be concerned. Let us help.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh, it's 20.
The half-elf bites her lip. She doesn't seem super, super old. She actually seems rather young for a half-elf. And you see a little bit of that childish naivety crossing her face, which is something you, based on your background and your story, you're fairly familiar with seeing. And when that look crosses her face, you kind of realize, yeah, she's torn in this moment. Here's a man who disappeared the same night a massive attack happened, who showed up a month later, or more than a month later, and just admitted to being the cause of it. So while there's anger and frustration and worry, and there's also that confusion, and that's enough you can see in those eyes that she's teetering. And she kind of looks at you, looks at Vulcan and Eloise, and she messes with the weapon at her side. What is she wielding? I forget. She has a scimitar strapped to her side. She grasps it lifts it up, lifts it down, and an emotion of nervousness. And Liam, you've seen this a lot of the time over those weeks while you're training. It's a nervous tick, something that she usually does when she's not quite sure what she's supposed to do. And then she steps away. And she says, right now, my responsibility is the people of this town. And she looks back at Liam. Looks back at you, Blood.
We fought our way. How many? I guess we fought our way here. We could help you fight your way out. Is there really anything left to save here?
Now, the moment you say that,
And
is there anything left to save here? Hold on.
Okay, do it.
All I was going to say is the moment you say that, Estru speaks up and says, "We have reason to believe that more pockets of people are alive in the city, but finding them has been hard so far. Shadows, a newcomer here, has been able to ascertain some." And the moment he says this, that Tabaxi, who's been hiding back here in this little area, he does step forward. And he says, "I have been scouting." Sorry, I'm doing the wrong voice. "I have been scouting, little here and there in the mornings.
You shit.
I will say that I have seen quite a few interesting things, and that makes me believe that more people are alive in the city, but time is running short.
I mean, where?
We have seen people, at least signs, all the way around the city. We have collected quite a few, I'm not going to lie. We have maybe 30 here total. And I would love to get a lot of these civilians out of here." And as he's walking forward, he looks at you, Blood. Now, you're looking over him, and you see he's a Greyford Tabaxi. And as your keen eyes are kind of glancing over him, assessing him, you recognize that his one eye does the same to you, looking you over. He's a male, you can tell without just at a glance, because you are Tabaxi as well, and he wears a fine leather doublet and breeches, and he has a sword belt at his waist. You can see that he has a rather nice-looking dagger and a rapier at his belt, just barely visible within his cloak. In his left hand, he has a hand crossbow, relaxed and held downward, and the entire time, like the altercation with Liam was going on, you saw him more just kind of leaning back and assessing. But you can see that while his hand's relaxed, that finger's on the trigger.
Yeah.
Now, his left hand, the moment your eyes move down towards it, it moves once, twice, 3 times with those fingers. And you see familiar signs with that hand that you recognize from your own time with the Syndicate. He's identifying himself.
That'll do it back.
Yep. And his eye, because he only has one, goes down when your hand moves down to your side, and you mimic the same signals. And he nods. He motions for you to kind of step back along with him. But he does say to the group, "Now, I have seen some signs of people, I'm not going to lie, but I've only been able to scout far enough that I could get back. Now, me and my wife, we have done very well keeping these people safe and finding more. But I can't deny that extra help would certainly be appreciated. And he kind of looks at you, and you see the haunches of his cheeks kind of lift up a little bit when he says that, and those the points of his teeth. The cat mouth kind of moves in a little bit of a smile that you recognize. He's talking to you, Blood.
Well, I would be glad to help. You know, I guess you said your wife. I mean, 6 eyes are better than 4. You let Liam come with, that's another 2. We could find those people.
The priest, who, like I said, he's a dwarf, bald head, long beard. He speaks up. As I appreciate all of your help, we cannot search the city during the night. Any attempt to leave our grounds would be your imminent demise.
That may be so, yes. We could wait till morning.
How many Vulcan speaks up and he says, "Now, how many of you did you say were here?" I'm doing that voice wrong, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah. Now, how many of you have you said has been? Necthros Veil, it has been about 30 minutes or so. Maybe closer to 45. You're almost there. Give me 1 minute.
Alright.
Vulcan continues on. We definitely do not want to head out into the night. But if there are many of you who are currently here, isn't it best that we get you out first? Maybe come back for the west.
Is there anyone here who's injured or in need of any medical attention?
Father Estru does chime in and he says, yes, upstairs we do have quite a few who are still injured. I've helped them as best as I can today, but if you are able to help, that would be appreciated.
I can try. How do I get upstairs?
The priest points towards the hallway that you had seen the child disappear towards. Up there a little bit to the right. And if you do head up there, you can find a second floor. A bit of a hallway, which I will give you. I'll move you here real quick.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so you will actually see this. You head upstairs to the second floor, and you do see that child that Apollyon had run from. He's standing by the door, kind of looking out, and the moment you appear, he ducks back and comes running over and stops in front of a woman who holds him. And you do see about a dozen or more people standing here in what appears to be a small cell of probably the monks who lived here. Single beds line each walls, small chests next to them, a dresser in the far corner, and a small room towards the very back. You see a handful of people, humans, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, at least one tiefling. Most of them kind of look up at you with big eyes, quite fearful.
Hi, I was pointed up here. I was told that there might be some people who could use some healing.
One of the dwarves kind of stands up, and he was leaning against the edge of the bed. He's wearing the same blue robes as the one you'd seen from downstairs of the two people that assaulted Liam.
Mm-hmm.
He steps up and he says, "Aye, lassie, it's been a rough week for me, and unfortunately the father couldn't help out as much as he usually could. And you can see his arm's broken. It's currently hanging in a sling. Quite a few lacerations are on his body. Very, very similar to the ones you'd seen from the Wraith attacks."
Okay. And looking around, are there others who...
Yeah, there are a few others. The tiefling in the back definitely looks injured just at a glance. I'm not going to make you roll a medicine check for this. There are quite a few people here, about 4 in total, who have various injuries that were deemed not life-threatening that the priest hasn't healed yet.
Okay.
So some have various degrees of bruising. From this point, you can tell that some of them probably haven't been healed in a week or more. Some of them have been injured in only a few days. But all of them seem relatively worse for wear.
Okay, I'll start with like the more acute injuries. I'm gonna cast Aura of Vitality, so I can help at least 10 people in the next minute.
Yeah, and you definitely can count 10 people who are injured. Most of them are older adults. Most of them, they're wounds that you notice as they kind of start crowding around you, looking for that healing.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that the wounds that they've suffered have been wounds when they're fleeing. Most of them are on their backs or the back of their arms or legs. A lot of them look a little bit necrotic, like they've been sitting longer than they needed to. And you can't help but think, as you're working over the next probably 20 minutes or so, it's a 1 minute spell, so over the next minute,
I'll restore 2d6 to 10 people.
Yeah, which you definitely can. So go ahead and roll your healing real quick. You're probably walking between them, and you spend some time talking amongst them. So I'm going to say, yeah, over the next 20 minutes, you heal these group of people. You kind of start listening to their stories. The dwarf that I mentioned, he is actually a monk of the Order of the Heron. The rest of them, villagers of different types. There's a blacksmith. There's a few farmers. There's somebody who worked at a tavern. There's a lot of children. There's at least half of them are children. And you spend some time healing these people. Listening to
then
their
whatever I can
stories.
do with my healer's kit or my medicine kit or whatever it is, whichever one I have.
A lot of them seem to be telling you stories of the fact that the priest, while has been working his best to help people, has to limit his spells to the fighters and has been leaving non-threatening wounds just as they are to heal naturally. So you casting your magic to heal these people has been a huge boon on them. You're hearing a lot of thanks, a lot of questions of worry and where did you come from? How did you get here? You're having to tell your story over and over again of why you're here.
I'm also handing out good berries as I go because I had 19 of them.
Yeah, you can definitely.
She tells her story very, very fast.
I do.
Yeah, absolutely, you do. I'm saying this is probably taking up the most of Veil's rest.
Yeah. What's left of Veil's rest and what's left of the polymorph.
Yeah, so while that's happening, Veil, obviously, probably for another 25 minutes or so, is doing his trance. Liam, what did you do after being very pointedly dismissed by Eloise's.
I imagine if I'm undisturbed, I'm just going to be sitting against that wall that he told me to go to, and I'm going to fall asleep with my hat behind my head and my hair just kind of purple hair dismayed all over the damn place.
Okay. You walk around another set of barriers towards what appears to be a very old, very ornate organ. You know, your typical church organ. And you walk to the side wall, lean up against it, relax a little bit. Every 10 minutes or so, you probably open your eyes and look around, and you can definitely see both of the monks looking back at you every time you open your eyes. Blood. Apollyon, I will go to you first because you're a sloth. So during the time that you're a sloth, what are you wanting to do?
Well, I was gonna try to start a rebellion, but I move so slow that by the time the spell is over, I had just gotten ready to leap out of Blood's arms.
Oh, he
and
put
just,
you down. That whole
tumble onto the floor.
Okay. So it sounded like Blood.
Yeah, he's gonna put him down long before then.
Okay, yeah, I will be running, but at just an incredibly slow pace.
Yeah, it's really more of a one leg, the next leg. And I imagine you're heading towards those stairs that you saw Eloise disappear up,
Yep.
or at least that back room. 1 foot, another foot. So you're probably only moving about 10 feet per round, or actually less than that even, maybe 5 feet per round. It's taking you a while. So over the course of the next 20 minutes ago or so, let's see, you'd probably end up about right there going up those stairs. Now, Blood, what were you doing?
Well, I guess he's learning some info about his new companion.
What do you mean?
It's like you said your wife has been out scouting with you. She's in the church now?
You're talking to the Tabaxi?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the Tabaxi looks at you and he says, yeah.
He might even do whatever the thieves' can equivalent of air quotes around wife.
He kind of you do see
may not be real.
Yeah, I will say you do see a bit of a twinkle in his eye. And he does wink and he says, no, she is actually my wife. Sparkles has been with me for a very long time, and trust me, she has been more of a help than even I would have originally thought. Now, and he kind of motions to you and disappears around the corner of the room that he had been in. Now, as you follow, you do recognize this to be a prayer room. A prayer room of the temple, and you can see along one wall the low table covered in candles, though none are lit at this moment. Now he kind of steps around the corner into a darkened area and kind of nudges and pulls his head back. Yeah, Eloise, Sparkles. At least I think that's what your name is.
Sparkles.
Yeah, Sparkles.
Actually have odd names. You got a problem with that?
Yeah. Now he says, now my mate and I were passing through Bradfordshire on the way toward Ravanica. That's when the race overran the city. My wife has always has a soft spot for people in trouble, so we decided to remain behind and help people who are unable to flee outright when the thing's attacked. Now, we've done our best to help these people, but the poor sods, they don't want to do nothing more than hang around.
Is she on the job as well? Or does she not work for your employer?
You see him with his hand kind of motions, not quite. She helps me. And I have my business. And you have yours. You understand.
I got you.
Now, it's hard, you know. Just how many people these things have killed at this point. The poltergeists only come out at night, so it's hard to get an accurate number of how many people are around here. We scouted during the day, looking for survivors, me and my wife, gathering supplies, that sort of thing. But the wraiths that patrol the city during the day, they may be easy to avoid if you're careful and patient, but they also travel in packs. They
Quite a
seem
few.
to be able to create many more themselves.
Yeah, we noticed that.
Now, over the past week, the father has been asking us to collect corpses too. We've been dragging them onto the ground so he can consecrate their remains. Whatever it is he's been doing, the spirits have not managed to rise from their bodies, so at least we know that.
Mr. Veil won't like to hear that.
The-
The odd gray one, he's a bit strange.
Yeah, the tabaxi kind of glances around the door towards Veil, who's still sitting there, cross-legged, hands on his sides at like the lotus position, meditating. You know he's pretty close to being done.
How'd you find yourself this far away from the Federation? Oh, I should say this far north. This isn't
We were
doing-
traveling on our way to Ravancia when the wraiths, and we were staying here when the wraiths overran the city.
Ravancia is that where the army was?
No, that's Rani Vika. Ravancia, if you ask,
Oh,
you could
that's
ask.
north,
That's
yeah.
that's the capital city of the country
Right.
to the east.
Is that Radagast's
Yeah.
capital?
No,
That's
Hyrule.
Hyrule, yeah.
Yep.
We might have
I'm
ended up
from-
heading. Yeah, it's like we were potentially going to be heading that direction, but we got some other jobs we got to go to do as well.
He gives you a motion of jobs not worth this, but kind of got stuck with it.
Yeah, we only came here to get some dust or get something to make dust to fix our friend. We weren't anticipating saving the whole town. Now, I'm willing to help, but at some point, you just got to cut your losses. I don't think these people understand that.
I've been telling these people they need to get out of here. They think they're going to find more people. The longer they wait, that is madness. We going to die here if we wait too long. But the missus, she just wants to take care of them, and by golly, kind of got
You-
stuck dealing with it.
Is she a tabaxi as well?
Hmm? He nods.
What village are y'all from?
Make a persuasion check.
Swear to God, if you say he's from his fucking village, I swear. If I get this and you give it to it, it's gonna. Oh shit! You know what? I'm not gonna get to use it, so I'm gonna use my inspiration. Yep. Please give me something better. God damn it!
Oh,
Please call
Sorry,
your rolls
anesthetic.
for those who can't
There's
see it.
sevens.
Both of them.
Sorry, anesthetic. I just blew your. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Well,
Here's the karma for all those 20s.
so Shadow, the tabaxi, kind of looks at you once more and he shakes his head and he says, "It don't really matter. We are from where we need to be, as you well know. And he moves those fingers again. And he's watching your eyes every time he does this, and he's looking for that moment of recognition. And he sees the recognition where his hands says the Syndicate. That's where he's from.
Blood's sort from. He meant more like actual Tabaxi Village. But...
Yeah, he knows what you meant. You are willing to bet he knows what you meant.
Yeah,
but that's the way he answers.
Ranivika is that's the one, or is it, which one is it? Ravencia or Ranivika is the capital of?
Ravencia is the capital of the kingdom of Hyrulean.
And then Ranivika is the other one. You got
Ranivika is the keep.
Oh, it's Rowena. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all have very similar names. I know.
A lot of R's. It's a southern accent.
But Rowena is the capital city of the Federation.
Yeah.
No, where he's heading is the capital of Hyrulean.
Yeah.
And what he said, where he's from,
is
the Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we're clear.
I'm hoping to get back home
like
at some point myself.
Talk to the monks before the end of the night.
Yep, I will get to you, buddy.
I do believe after we leave here, if we leave here, I think we're headed to Morag.
The opposite direction.
The Tabaxi sniffs, and because it is the opposite direction.
Yeah, and I think that's where. That's what Blood thinks they're going. So it's not a lie.
So the Tabaxi sniffs, and he says, "We need to get these people out of here."
Well, you just heard me tell them I'd like to get them out, but they're not going to leave until these people are found. So we need to either find them or give them a reason not to stay.
They'll have a reason if we can get them out of here quickly. I'm not gonna lie. Me and my missus, we can get out, in and out, not too.
Yeah, I could as well.
30 or more.
That's gonna be the problem.
That's a trick. Now, if you have a trick in your sleeve, I'm happy.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be very, very odd, but I actually might have a trick to get these people out of here. It's not an easy trick. It's a dangerous trick. But that peculiar gray one, that elf in the corner, let's just say he's got a little something up his sleeve. We might be able to get these people out of here. I don't know.
In 10 minutes or less, or your money back.
Let's just say it is not for the faint of heart. Let's just sit there and kind of like smile and laugh to himself. I can't wait to, if that comes up later, I can't wait to fucking see how the reaction is going to be. It's going to be good. I ain't going fucking for it.
How it feels to tell a joke only you understand.
Well, while that's going on, let's go ahead and cut over to Liam. What are you doing?
Noticing that they're keeping close watch on me, I'll tilt my head up and just say, "Am I alive because you pity a stupid man, or because you understand I'm your best chance to reverse this?"
Say that one more time.
Am I alive because you see me as a stupid man and you pity me? Or because you understand that I'm your best chance at reversing what's happened to this town?
Who are you speaking to specifically? Just in general type?
I know the monks are watching me, so I'm just speaking up loud enough to make sure they hear me.
Okay. Nyasi looks over to you. I don't know why you arrive yet. I don't know what place, what piece you had in this. I'll only ask you one thing. And she begins walking towards you as she's saying this.
Start to stand up.
She points at you. Where is the thing you stole? Where is the sacred glaive?
Groot would be keeping that on his person at all costs. We'll need to take him down in order to get it back.
And she just screams, "Who is this?" I'm not going to yell that loud. "Who is this fucking Groot?" And she screams as... You've never heard her swear. You've never heard her say a cross word or an angry motion the entire time you've ever seen her. Those few weeks that you were training there. But you see this woman lose it in this moment, screaming, "Who is this Groot?"
He is a man like a devil. He survives and continues to create chaos because people don't know or believe that he exists. And then he uses others to do his bidding, so he has no traces. If you were to kill me, there would be no one that can track him down. I'm the only one who knows how to find him. All I know of the man is that he's a Goliath. Very large. Larger than most. Even by Goliath standards. He carries 2 massive scimitars. Larger than any I've ever seen. I have not seen many that can stand in his way, including my former friend.
As you're saying this, Groot has been walking up behind the dragon board.
Vulcan.
Groot again?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
You're killing me, man!
Vulcan has been walking up behind the dragon board. And he hears the name Groot. And he looks at you again. And his head kind of cocks to one side as you say this. Now you say this Goliath sent you to take a glaive away. Why would you do this, boy?
Glaive and a longbow. In order to gain initiation, I needed to gain his trust in order to get close to him to get revenge.
The Goliath looks to the dragonborn. What bow is he talking about? And the dragonborn replies, "We did notice that the bow of an ancient master was stolen as well from the main training circle. We did not think much of it at the time. This master you speak of, you say he sent you to take the he sent you there specifically
for the glaive and the bow. And by the way, it's an excellent bow. I shot a dragon from about 100 feet away. Badass bow.
Rabbit from 300, but okay.
So the tally of episodes we can go without mentioning that goes back down to 0.
Just fuck with it.
Oh, we lost Matt. Where's Matt?
Oh yeah, maybe he dropped. Let's do our show.
It's the Apollyon show now.
Get ready to put
Apollyon,
the smack
alright.
down, jabronis.
Describe every word that you thought as a sloth very, very slowly.
God.
Oh, okay, excellent. So, the first thing I did.
Oh my god, you gotta turn him into a snail later on. If this continues on, it'll be the same voice. It'll be awesome.
Oh, I'm really good at the slow voices.
Yeah, it's like double that speed for turtle talk. Like you're on super slow.
Yep. I learned it all from Brandy.
Alright, so hands raised, who thought I was going to reveal myself as soon as we got in here?
No, I thought that was gonna be enough to fucking save your ass and be like, hey, let's get the fuck out of here, let's go find your peep. But no. He was about to start saying other shit, then you're just like, oh, nope, I'm the one that did it. And I was like, God damn it, Liam.
It's fucking character arc, man. I want this character to move into the better echelon above chaotic neutral. I'd like that, and that's what I'm trying to. I had to reveal it. I had to.
Sorry about that. I am having all sorts of issues.
Hey, he's back.
Yes, I am back. Sorry about that.
Did the stream continue the whole time? Because we were talking.
No, it absolutely did. It was Roll20 in my camera that was having issues, so sorry about that.
Gotcha. Then you'll get to watch our awesome conversation later on.
Absolutely, I will. But for the moment, Grood holding everybody back. He's standing next to Niasi. Jortha, by this point, has walked around and actually started more pacing back and forth, seeming upset. Veil, by this point, your rest has actually ended, so you could have done your arcane recovery, which I assume is what you're trying to do.
Yes, that's what I did. Thank you.
Okay. So, with that in mind, what are the rest of you wanting to do?
Vulcan, you're telling me you know who Groot is.
Vulcan kind of scowls, and he looks towards you. Now, this is a name that I have heard once before. And he kind of looks back at you, Eloise.
Is she
Right.
upstairs?
I assume Eloise is just walking into
that's
the
right.
room. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Okay.
was upstairs. So by this time, she's probably heading back downstairs after healing everybody. And Eloise, I'd say you're probably coming around the corner, seeing, for the most part, the group kind of still in their arguing phase. You see Vulcan over there near the Dragonborn yelling at Liam. You see Veil kind of peeking up from his recovery period, and the skeleton standing in front of him in a guard-like position. Blood.
On my
is
way
just-
down the stairs, I'm gonna scoop the Apollyon sloth up, because I know sloths need to be upside down for their organs to be happy.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think Apollion's transformed, hasn't he?
Actually, about this point, as you're coming down, you scoop up Apollyon, and Liam is over there asking Vulcan about the name Grood.
Mhm.
Apollyon, you suddenly poof back.
I'm back, baby.
The world grows to its normal size, and there is Eloise, who is holding you a moment ago, just dropped you as you massively just come into being once again. And she's standing in front of you. What are you doing?
Woo! That was freaky. I'm back, baby. Hey, what's going on?
I was gonna go check up on my affair and Liam.
Let's do it.
So we head over.
Well, so you just start leading Apollyon over around towards Vulcan, and Vulcan is looking at Liam, looking at Niasi, and he says, "Now, there was a time long ago, long before Dragonfly, even you were around. I was a member of a clan called Grey Death. We were the type of Goliath that roved across the plains, did what we liked, fought who we liked, lived how we lived. Our tribe was strong, our tribe was powerful. At least that's what my mother and father would tell me. I was but a child, you see. But I remember the day. The day the soldiers came. The day the soldiers' arrows attacked our village. My mother and father, they hid me, Dragonfly. They kept me safe and died. All of them died, Dragonfly.
They protected you, like you protect me.
And you've seen Vulcan most of your life. You've heard many tales of his adventures as a young man, tales of his travels, tales of his wanderings and the people he met. But you've never heard the tale of his family before. And you just see a man, strong, proud, in tune with nature. But in this moment, you see his shoulders slump, his eyes downcast, and sorrow. A sorrow you've never really seen on his face before. I do not know.
Go under his arm and wrap my arms around him.
And as you do, he kind of pats your head, strokes it a little bit, and hugs you as he looks to the rest of you and he says, "When I was a child, I did knew a boy named Groot Gray. A playmate of mine, a little older, little stronger. I assumed I was the only one who was alive. When I crawled from my hiding place, my tribe was dead. My people gone. The only thing I knew, only thing I could see, was the arrows left by those who killed my people. My young friend Grood, I never saw him after that day. But we Goliath, our names are unique. And a name like Grood, I'm not gonna lie, Dragonfly. I'm not gonna lie. Whatever you choose your name to be, and it nods to you, Liam. That is a name I recognize. And if that's if your master is named Groot, I cannot believe the coincidence that name is the same as the boy I knew.
The Groot that I knew had some unfinished business when I met him. There were 3 dwarves he had the names of. Were it dwarves that slew your family?
You gotta see a little bit of tears kind of welling up in Crude's eyes.
Vulcan.
Or Vulcan's eyes, sorry. God. Too many Goliath. You see the tears welling up in Vulcan's eyes at the talk of Grood and the talk of these dwarves that have killed him and that killed the people, and he kind of wipes his eyes. Vulcan does. Tell me about this dragon, or tell me about this Goliath, Liam. Describe him for me. And he pushes. He literally pushes Niasi the Dragonborn out of the way.
I go over to her and I'm like, don't take it personally. He's just really emotional right now.
Yeah.
Taking a new level of seriousness to that. I hadn't already taken it. Okay, bringing it up. He's around 9 feet tall right now, last I saw him. I mean, I'm looking at, like, the bottom of the top of his abs, face to abs. And I'm going... He towers over you, no offense. But he makes many men look very small. Wielding 2 scimitars of larger craft than I've ever seen. And I guarantee at this point, with a glaive and an intricately crafted longbow strapped to his back, as to make sure no one were to take it from him.
What was his full name, boy? And he says each syllable really slowly.
Crude Gray.
And he just stops. And he nods his head. And he looks back at you, Eloise. And you just see a tear going down his face.
I'm running right up to him, and I'm wrapping him up again. I'm gonna reach up if I can to try and wipe the tear.
As you're trying, he just kind of looks down at you and he says, "Dragonfly, I must find this man. The rest of this shit, the rest of all of this be damned, Dragonfly. I think that might be the last of my kin."
He's not sure to see you the same way. It's been a long time. He's not but evil anymore. I'm not sure you understand. He's not the same man he was as a boy. When I first met him, he was holding my friend by the throat until he died.
Blood, you've kind of been behind this entire time and you have a hand on your crossbow. Why is that?
He's starting to raise his voice and it seems like he's getting rather aggressive, but he's just worried that he's gonna fuck up Liam. So he's just sitting there, he's just kind of like tapping it with his fingers, just like, I don't want to have to pull this.
I'm gonna grab Vulcan's hand and put it up, and it's probably like taking up my whole face, but I'm still gonna put it up. And I'm just gonna look up at him and say, I understand, Uther, but Do what you have to do. Just be careful. He might not be who you want him to be. Just be careful, okay?
I know, Dragonfly. I know what you're saying, and whatever it was he sent Liam to do, I gotta hope that there's something left in him. That is my clan. The only blood that exists. You're my daughter, Dragonfly. You'll always be my daughter. I accepted my line was gonna end with me. And you carry on from there. And I'm fine with that. I love you. And I only want you to be my daughter for the rest of my life. And he looks back at Liam. Is it possible I still have a brother left?
He might be alive. But he's hunting down the very last of those dwarfs right now. There is only one left last I heard from him. There's no chance he's even alive right now, but I know he's headed that way. 'Cause there was only one left.
And Vulcan looks back at you and he says, "Where was Groot going?"
Oh God, if you say.
He headed north. I was supposed to meet up with him. I chose a different route. Honestly, I have a signal to reach him, but if I'm not close enough, it would be worthless.
Where were you supposed to meet him?
I was supposed to meet him back in back in Valana.
I will cut in.
Portland?
What was the name of that town?
The
That's
town
the
that
port.
you were... Yeah, Valena is the port that you guys were in.
Port
What-
Valana.
Where you were going, you were supposed to meet him in Weston.
Weston, yeah, I forgot the name of the town. I apologize.
That's
I
where
was
you're...
supposed to meet him back in Weston.
And I will also remind you that when you went to Weston, you met his current apprentice, who told you he was traveling to a specific place. Do you remember where it is?
I do not.
Morag. I'll give it to you. However, if you don't write it down after this point, I will not.
Yeah, that's where we're going.
The last dwarf was in Morag.
Meds.
What's that?
Sorry, I was talking to my kid.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna take his meds for the night before he goes to bed.
Got it. Vulcan places his arms down on you, Eloise. Looks between Liam and you. I gotta go to Morag, Dragonfly. We need to leave. Liam, I sympathize for you and your Minotaur friend. I gotta get to Morag as quickly as I can. If he is the only one left of my clan, I must at least see.
If you go by yourself, you're risking death.
I've been risking death the moment I met you, you assholes. You shot me out of the sky. You can see a bit of indignant in his face right now.
Well, you've got the point in that my wisdom is not one to be listened to at this current time. I'll give you that. But he's not the man that you remember. You keep that in mind. Don't go up to him and say, "Hey, buddy."
not to interject and break up this touching moment, but you said there were 3 dwarven names, correct?
There were 3. I crossed 2 off the list, alright?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. And he's gonna look to the Dragonborn. That bow you said belonged to a long dead master. What was his name? And what race was he?
Go for it, Liam. Who was it?
I'm sorry. Say it again. I'm having a... Say it again.
He's gonna ask, he goes, you said the bow belonged to a dead master that served here. What was that man's name? And was he a dwarf?
I don't know the answer to that.
That's why he was asking the Dragonborn. She
You're
said it belonged. Yeah, he was asking whatever the woman that has been hate looking at Liam the whole time.
Okay.
Not Jortha, the other one.
Niasi or something?
Yes.
And the Essie.
He's trying to connect. He's saying there's 3 names, 2 are definitely dead, and he's wondering if that was one of the names.
Do you have a third name, Liam?
The last name on the list that I remember was Elvis Preslor.
God, you did. Did you?
Oh my god.
And you do hear that sniff because I just want it to all connect. Elvis Preslor, the master who founded the Order of the Blue Heron?
Is that the name we're going with?
Yeah, why the fuck not? Elvis Preslor. It's canon now.
So if I am making these connections right, he sent Liam.
I broke math! I love it!
He sent Liam to rob an item from your order that belonged to a dwarf that murdered his entire village. If that is the implication I am getting out of this conversation, is that what is nobody else picking up on that?
Oh yeah.
The Dragonborn kind of hisses and says,
I'm not saying it's right. I hear your apprehension, but
Vulcan looks between everyone. And he says, we need to get these people out of here if we're going to find out the answers to all these questions. This is all well and good to speculate, but we need to save these people before more of these wraiths slaughter them. If I had a tree, I could get these people out of here, but I'm afraid that this goddamn mesa is nothing but rock and stone, and I haven't seen a goddamn tree large enough to teleport a thing.
Blood, not knowing anything about druids, you can't grow one by magic?
I could grow a tree to about your size, but something large enough to and wide enough to transport people? Nah, it's gotta be something 100 years old at least.
I mean, technically, my staff could become that tree, but we'd have to leave it behind.
Did you say that out loud?
Yep.
Because the moment you said that, Vulcan looks at you like, what do you mean, Dragonfly?
It can become a tree.
That's where I remembered the whole tree thing from.
And in that moment, Vulcan looks at you, and you look at him, and there's a strange kind of, moment. And we're going to end things right here.
Woo!
Oh, that was awesome.
Woo!
Oh man, am I gonna lose the staff?
We'll find you something just as good.
We will find out.
We won't have Pass Without a Trace anymore.
Don't offer something you're not willing to follow through with. Like, if you threaten to slap somebody, you slap them after they do what you tell them not to do.
He was gonna go off on his own. I thought Matt was trying to get Vulcan out, not to all of us to go.
Hey,
Well,
just
don't
wait.
offer another option. That's on you.
Well, you know what?
Please doesn't think about the consequences.
Bell tower.
I guess we have a little bit to think about over the next week. But you know what? We have something interesting to think about. So, thank you everybody to watching this evening. Thank you everybody. We appreciate your support, and we appreciate everyone turning in. Everyone who cheered on us for us, everyone who enjoyed the laughs and the insanity. We'll be back next week, Monday, 7 o'clock Central Time. So, please tune in. Please tune in to our 3 p.m. session, The Debauchery Circus, that unfortunately wasn't able to air this week because of some other issues, but they'll be back next. So, on behalf of everybody here in the Faab Five, I want to say thank you for watching. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next Monday. Good night.